What you see around you at this very moment, the room you are in, the balance in your bank account, the relationships you experience, this is not the truth of who you are. It is nothing more than a quantum echo, a delayed reflection of thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that you once held. It is a photograph in 3 dimensions, a snapshot of a state of consciousness that you no longer need to inhabit. The greatest mistake you can ever make, the one that keeps so many beautiful souls feeling trapped, is to look at this old photograph and call it your living reality. The real truth, the living, breathing truth of your existence, is not what stands before your physical eyes. The truth is what you hold in the sacred, quiet space of your imagination. It is the reality you dare to step into within your own heart. The story you choose to tell yourself when no one else is listening. This inner world is not a fantasy. It is the quantum field, the womb of creation where all possibilities exist, waiting for your attention to give them life. You must understand a fundamental law of our universe. The world you experience is a mirror, but it is a quantum mirror with a built-in time delay. It reflects back to you the coherence of your inner state, but only after a period of gestation. Think of it like a cosmic video stream that is always buffering. What you are seeing right now was broadcast by you moments, days, or even weeks ago. So if you want the stream of your tomorrow to look and feel different, you absolutely must stop letting the buffered image of today dictate your emotions and your focus. This is why I say to you, with all the love in my heart, you must learn to ignore your current reality. It will try to be loud. It will wave its hands in your face and demand your attention. It will present you with facts and evidence, telling you what's real, what's possible, and what is likely for someone like you. But your current reality is a poor prophet. It is a historian, not a fortune teller. It only knows how to report on the past. It has no information about the incredible future you are capable of choosing right now. You, and only you, are the creator of that future. You are the conscious observer who decides which possibility to bring into focus. If this truth is awakening something within you, anchor it now. Go to the comments and declare, "I am creator." Let the act of writing these words be a conscious choice, a signal you are sending into the quantum field that you are no longer a victim of your reality, but the powerful, loving creator of it. So just keep assuming. Assume that the beautiful desire living in your heart is not just a dream, but a parallel reality that is already complete. Walk through your days as the version of you who has already received it. When you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, don't reach for your phone. Reach for the feeling. Feel the profound satisfaction of your wish fulfilled. Let that warmth, that peace, that joy be the very first thing that touches your consciousness. And when you go to bed at night, don't replay the worries of the day. Instead, rest in the deep comfort of knowing that it is done. Let your inner assumption, your chosen reality, become more solid, more tangible, and more real to you than any circumstance the world can show you. At first, your 5 senses will argue. They have been trained to report only on the past reflection. They will show you a bank account that doesn't look like abundance. They will point to the absence of a relationship you deeply desire. They will remind you of a body or a state of health you wish were different. When this happens, do not fight it. Do not fear it. Simply smile at these appearances, for they are nothing more than the fading remnants of a reality you have already outgrown. They are the last echoes of an old song. You are no longer singing that song. You are now attuned to a new frequency, a new vibration of being. These old reflections are just cosmic dust, the last wisps of a dissolving timeline. See them, acknowledge them without emotion, and let them go. They have no power over you unless you give them your attention. Your attention is the most valuable currency in the universe. Spend it only on the reality you wish to magnify. As a first step in directing your energy, I invite you to interact with the like button below. Do not see this as a simple click. See it as a conscious act of energetic agreement. By liking this transmission, you are anchoring its frequency into your own quantum field, signaling to the universe that you are ready to move from passive observer to conscious creator. Let this simple action be your first demonstration of choosing where you place your power. Everything beautiful, everything meaningful, everything you have ever wanted begins in the unseen. Before any event unfolds in your life, before any tangible change is witnessed by your eyes, before any dream becomes solid enough to touch, it exists first in the quiet, potent realm of your consciousness. The invisible always comes first. This is not philosophy. This is the fundamental principle of quantum reality. The entire universe is born from a field of infinite potential, an unseen ocean of energy that responds to the focus of awareness. Think of your mind, specifically your subconscious mind, as the most fertile soil in existence. Every assumption you hold, every belief you accept as true, is a seed that you plant deep within this soil. Whether you consciously plant seeds of joy, faith, and abundance, or you unconsciously allow seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation to fall from your hands, they will take root. They do not judge. They simply grow. The world you walk through every single day is nothing more than the living harvest of what you have been growing in the secret garden of your mind. The mistake most people make, and why they feel so powerless, is that they judge their life only by the harvest they can see. They look at the garden, and if they see weeds, they believe they are only capable of growing weeds. They forget that what is visible is already the end of a long creative process, not the beginning. A magnificent oak tree is not born the moment you notice its towering branches. It began its journey long ago, as a tiny, determined seed buried beneath the surface, invisible to everyone. Likewise, the success you desire, the love you crave, the vibrant health you deserve, will not just appear out of nowhere. It is born in the quantum field the very moment you assume it is already yours. It takes root the instant you feel the living reality of it in your inner world. This is why you must become so incredibly gentle and intentional with the seeds you are planting. Every single thought that is charged with strong emotion, every assumption you accept as your truth, is a powerful seed being dropped into the fertile, creative soil of your subconscious mind. And once it's planted, it begins to draw energy from the quantum field. It begins its journey from the unseen to the seen. It grows, whether you are paying attention to it or not. If you spend your days replaying old fears, expecting disappointment, or believing in the limitations that others have handed to you, you are diligently watering weeds. And these weeds do not ask for your permission to grow. They thrive on the very attention you give them. Your focus is the sunlight, and your emotion is the water. But you have a choice in every moment. You can decide right now to plant something different. You can choose to assume that your beautiful desire is already a present tense reality. You can choose to hold that assumption as if it were a sacred treasure, tending to it daily with loving thoughts and the warm feelings of gratitude. When doubt appears, as it sometimes does, you see it for what it is, a stray weed. You refuse to feed it with your energy. When outer appearances contradict your beautiful vision, you remind yourself with gentle certainty, that is the old harvest. These are simply the remnants of old seeds. I am growing something new now. And you let those appearances pass by without giving them your emotional charge. It is not your job to dig up your new seed every day to check if it's growing. In fact, doing so only disturbs the soil and delays its inevitable bloom. Your sacred task is simply to water it with belief, to keep the soil of your mind warm with the feeling of the wish already fulfilled, to protect it from the chilling winds of fear and the pests of frustration. The harvest will come. It will come in its own perfect timing and in its own perfect way. You cannot rush the unfolding of a quantum reality any more than you can force a rose to bloom before it is ready. When you truly grasp this, you stop living as a victim of your circumstances. You stop being fooled by the illusions of the outer world because you know the profound secret. The invisible always comes first. The moment you claim your desire within your own heart, the seed is planted. The harvest is not just possible, it is absolutely inevitable. If you feel the power of this release, seal it with an affirmation. Comment below with these 3 simple words. ITISDONE. This is not a hope or a wish. It is a declaration of faith in the creative process. Feel the peace and certainty in that statement as you type it, knowing you have planted your seed in fertile ground. So stop tending to weeds. Stop feeding what you do not want with your precious attention. Instead, turn inward and water your chosen seed with faith. Nurture it with feelings of gratitude and trust with all your heart that what you cannot yet see is already alive and thriving beneath the moment you decide what you truly want, the moment you select a new reality from the infinite possibilities in the quantum field. Your task is not to wait for proof. Your job is not to stand still, nervously scanning the horizon for signs that it's working. That posture keeps you in a state of lack, in a state of waiting, and the universe, in its perfect and impersonal way, can only give you more experiences of waiting. Instead, your sacred work is to step fully into the role now. It is to mentally and emotionally embody the version of you who already has the thing you desire. You must live from the end, not just think of the end. You cannot think of yourself as poor and expect to live in a reality of wealth. You cannot see yourself as unloved and expect to be cherished. You cannot carry the feeling of someday and expect your gift to arrive today. What you hold as true in your mind and feel as real in your heart becomes the blueprint for your reality. It is not what you wish for in the distant future, but what you claim as true in the present moment. When you assume your desire is already a done deal, you shift your entire energetic signature. You stop approaching your desire as a humble request, and you start relating to it as an established fact. This is not about faking it till you make it, or trying to force yourself to believe something through sheer willpower. It is a much softer, more profound process. It is about gently and lovingly entering into a new state of being where you naturally feel the truth of your assumption. You do this by asking yourself simple, powerful questions. If I already had what I desire, how would I be thinking right now? How would I carry myself as I walk through my day? How would I speak to others? How would I treat myself? How would I feel as I drift off to sleep? Then, you begin to live from those answers. Right now, in this moment, even if your senses try to convince you otherwise. At first, this may feel a little strange, like you're wearing clothes that aren't quite yours yet. That's because your outer reality will still carry the residue, the energetic echo, of your old state of being. But do not be discouraged by this. This is a crucial part of the process. The outer conditions, the physical world, are always slower to catch up to your inner energetic shifts. They are the shadow, not the substance. The real substance is the inner state you hold with unwavering, gentle persistence. Your mind is the director of your life's movie. The world is simply the stage, and the circumstances are the actors. The moment you accept your new role inwardly, the scene must begin to change outwardly to match your new character. Do not wait for circumstances to give you permission to feel successful, happy, loved, or abundant. You are the source of those feelings. Decide to feel them now, for no other reason than that is who you have decided to be. When you live from that place of inner certainty, from that coherent state of being, the quantum field will begin to mirror it back to you in ways you could never have predicted. Opportunities will arise as if by magic. The right people will show up. Events will rearrange themselves in your favor, not because you manipulated or forced them, but because you achieved quantum coherence with the version of you who already lives in that desired reality. The key to all of this is persistence. You cannot step into this beautiful new role for an hour during your meditation and then return to a state of doubt and worry for the rest of the day. You must make this new state your home. Hold it as naturally as you hold your own name. Carry it in your posture as you walk. Let it soften your words. Let it be the gentle hum beneath your inner dialogue. If you find yourself falling into old patterns of thought, and you will, simply notice it without judgment. See it as an old habit, and then gently, lovingly, return to the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. When you assume as if it's done, you are collapsing the quantum distance between your desire and your experience. You are no longer someone trying to get there. You are in consciousness, someone who is already there. And the world, which is nothing more than a mirror to your consciousness, has no choice but to follow your lead. The evidence you seek will appear, but it will only appear after you have stopped looking for it and started living from it. If you are ready to collapse the distance between you and your desire, claim your new position now. Affirm this shift in the comments by writing, "I am there." Let this be more than just words. Let it be a vibrational anchor. You are notifying every cell in your body and the universe itself that you have arrived. You are no longer on the journey. You are at the destination. There will always be voices. Some of these voices will come from well-meaning friends or family, and some will come from the deepest, most conditioned parts of your own mind. These voices will try to tell you what is possible and what is not. They will measure your infinite potential against your current situation, your past failures, or their own limited vision of the world. If you allow these voices to dictate your thinking, if you allow their frequency of doubt to influence your own, you will find yourself trapped in the very same reality they believe in. You will be living out their limitations instead of your own truth. The ultimate truth is this: those outer opinions and the visible circumstances of your life are completely powerless unless you give them your power. They are like ghosts. They can only affect you if you believe in them, if you give them your attention and your emotional acceptance. The outer voice often comes disguised as common sense, practical advice, or just being realistic. But what it is really doing is trying to bind you to the known, the visible, the world of past creations. It is keeping you from stepping into the unseen quantum field, where your desire is already a living, breathing reality. If you want to create something truly new, something that your old reality says is impossible, you must learn to silence these outer voices. But you do not silence them by arguing with them. You do not silence them by trying to convince others to agree with your dream. That is a waste of your precious creative energy. You silence them by simply withdrawing your mental and emotional energy from their words. You let their opinions be nothing more than noise in the background, like the sound of distant traffic. It's there, but you don't have to engage with it. You can choose to listen to the beautiful music of your own inner knowing instead. To help you stay attuned to this inner music, it is vital to surround yourself with frequencies that amplify it. Subscribing to this channel is more than just a notification setting. It is a declaration that you are aligning with a consistent stream of consciousness that supports your new reality. Think of it as tuning your reality to a frequency of empowerment, making it easier to ignore the static of the old world. Your senses, too, will try to persuade you. They are loyal reporters of the physical world. They will present you with facts, numbers, and images that seem solid and immovable. They will whisper in your ear, "Look, nothing has changed. This is your reality. Who are you kidding?" But you must remember what your senses are. They are reporters of the past, not prophets of the future. They can only confirm what has already been created through your previous states of mind. They are reporting on the old news. If what you see, hear, and touch contradicts your desire, you must train yourself to smile and say, "Thank you for showing me what was. Now I am focused on what is." You see the old reality not as a wall, but as a dissolving fog. This is why inner discipline, a gentle but firm discipline, is so important. You must become the loving guardian of your own mind. When the voice of doubt tries to speak, you gently turn your attention back to the vibrant, living vision you have chosen. When the feeling of fear presents its case, you refuse to sit in its courtroom and listen to its recycled evidence. When people insist that you are foolish for believing in what they cannot yet see, you silently bless them on their journey, and you return to the unshakable sanctuary of your inner knowing. The power to manifest your desires is not found in convincing the world to support your dream. It is found in convincing yourself so completely, so deeply, that the world has no other choice but to rearrange itself to match your conviction. If you are ready to become the sole authority in your reality, embody this conviction. Go to the comments and state your new truth with this declaration: "I am certain." Feel the unwavering stability in that statement. It is the frequency of power, the quiet confidence that silences all outer noise and allows your inner vision to manifest undisturbed. Your inner coherence commands the quantum field. This is why you must not let the noise of others or the evidence of your senses shake you from your chosen state. Every moment you allow yourself to be swayed by the outer world, you are watering the seeds of doubt. But every single moment you hold fast to your chosen assumption, you are strengthening the roots of your new reality. You are anchoring a new timeline. There will be times when this inner silence feels lonely. There will be moments when it seems so much easier to just agree with the loudest voice in the room or to surrender to the facts before you. But please remember this: every great change in human history, every invention, every masterpiece, every miracle began in solitude. It began in that quiet, sacred place. To live in the end is to anchor yourself so completely in the state of your wish already being fulfilled that it becomes the place you live from, rather than a place you are hoping to one day reach. Most people live their lives always moving toward their desires. They see them as distant goals on the horizon, destinations that they might reach someday if all the circumstances align perfectly. But when you learn to live in the end, You collapse that distance. You remove the separation. You claim the end result now, in thought and in feeling, and you let that new state of being define your decisions, your actions, and your inner dialogue every single day. The key is to make this end state your new mental home. It's not a fleeting daydream you visit for 5 minutes in the morning. It becomes the dwelling place you return to in every free moment. Just as your physical home surrounds you with a sense of familiarity, comfort, and belonging, your mental home in the end result must give you that same deep feeling of certainty and stability. You are no longer wishing for it. You are no longer hoping for it. You are living it now in consciousness. If this idea of a mental home resonates with your soul, make the decision to move in today. Affirm this homecoming in the comments by writing, "I am home." Let this act symbolize you unpacking your bags in the reality of your choice. It's a feeling of belonging, of peace, of knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. Thinking of the desire keeps it in the future. It creates a subject-object split and sends a signal to the quantum field that says, "I'm here, and my desire is over there. I am not there yet, but one day I hope to be." This posture of waiting, of seeking, only reinforces the energetic separation between you and your desire. Thinking from the desire, however, assumes you are already there. It sends a coherent signal that says, "I am this now. I have this now. It is mine now." From that position of being, your actions, your words, and your expectations naturally align with the reality you have already claimed in the quantum field. When you make the end your home, you stop reacting to the old world as if it still has authority over you. If your bank account does not yet reflect the wealth you feel, you do not panic. You know you are already the person who lives in abundance, and so the numbers in the reflection must eventually catch up to that truth. If you have not yet seen physical evidence of the beautiful relationship you desire, you do not despair. You know you are already loved, chosen, and cherished in the reality you have chosen to inhabit. The challenge for most people is persistence. It is easy to visit the end state when you are feeling good and inspired. But to live there daily, especially when the old reality is still visible, requires a gentle, loving discipline. Outer conditions will tempt you to leave your new home. They will knock on your door and try to lure you back into the old neighborhood of doubt and worry. They will encourage you to measure your progress by what you can see with your eyes. But you must refuse. You must lovingly close the door on those temptations and return again and again to your chosen end state until it feels more real, more natural, more like you than anything your senses can report. Over time, this mental home becomes second nature. It becomes your default state of being. You stop looking for signs and synchronicities because you no longer need them for validation. You are living the reality within yourself so completely that the outer world must eventually conform. And when it does, when the physical reality finally shifts, it will feel completely natural. It will feel as though it was always meant to be yours, because in the true reality of consciousness, it always was. Living in the end daily is not pretending. It is choosing your truth and then dwelling in that truth until the world around you catches up. Make your wish fulfilled your permanent address, and soon the outer world will deliver the mail right to your door. Persistence is the quiet, unwavering decision to hold to your chosen assumption, regardless of what the three-dimensional world shows you. It is the deep, cellular understanding that the outer world is slow, that it is a lagging indicator of your inner change. During this delay, this buffer period, the old reality may still appear strong, solid, and completely unshakable. So many people abandon their beautiful vision in this waiting period. They conclude that it isn't working, when in truth, everything is already in motion beneath the surface of the visible. The quantum field is already rearranging itself around your new coherent signal. The old reality is like a shadow. It lingers for a while, even after the person who cast it has moved. Just because you cannot yet see the new conditions does not mean they are not on their way. In fact, the very moment you have successfully assumed your desire as true, the process of creation has already begun. But if you keep looking for constant proof, if you keep demanding that the outer world validate your inner choice, you pull yourself out of the very state that makes the fulfillment inevitable. Proof is the harvest. Your assumption is the seed. The seed does not need you to keep digging it up to see if it's growing. It needs you to trust the process. It needs you to provide the fertile soil of belief and the warm water of feeling. Persistence means living in your chosen reality even when the evidence screams otherwise. It means refusing to let the temporary appearance of the old state dictate how you feel or what you believe. This is not stubbornness for its own sake. It is an act of profound loyalty. Loyalty to the vision you have chosen for your life. This loyalty is a practice. By subscribing and hitting the notification bell, you are making a commitment to this practice. You are joining a collective field of creators who are all holding this same frequency of faith. Every transmission you receive will act as a powerful reinforcement, a reminder of your loyalty to your vision, strengthening your coherence and making your persistence feel effortless. When the outer world contradicts you, you do not argue with it. You do not resist it. You simply ignore its relevance to your future, and you return to the inner world, your true home, where the desire is already a finished, fulfilled reality. There will be times when nothing seems to be moving. You may feel like you are standing still while your vision remains far away. In those moments of stillness, please remember that immense movement is happening in realms you cannot yet perceive. The world of form is rearranging itself. People, events, and opportunities are aligning in a new constellation. Unseen doors are being prepared to open for you. Your only job during this time is to keep the inner state alive. To remain in consciousness, the person who already has what they desire, even in the complete absence of physical proof. Persistence is also the ultimate test of faith. But this is not faith in some outside force, in luck or in chance. It is faith in a universal law, the law that your inner world of consciousness creates your outer world of experience. If you know this to be true, not just as a concept, but as a deep inner knowing, then there is no logical reason to give in to impatience or doubt. Time itself becomes irrelevant because the outcome is certain. The only variable is whether you will hold your assumption with loving consistency long enough for it to solidify into physical fact. When you persist in this way, you become unshakable. If you feel this inner strength rising within you, anchor it as your new identity. Declare this resilience to the universe by commenting with a single powerful word: unshakable. Let this be your promise to yourself, that you will no longer be swayed by the shadows of the old reality. You are a mountain of faith, and the world will now move around you. You are no longer a feather in the wind, blown about by every changing circumstance. You become a mountain. You no longer chase after proof because you understand that proof must, by law, chase after you. You stop measuring your progress by what is visible, and you start measuring it by your own ability to remain faithful to the state you have chosen. And then one day, often when you least expect it, the world will bend to your assumption. It will happen so naturally that it will feel as if it could never have been any other way. The old reality will fade away like a forgotten dream, and the new one will stand before you, solid and real. Not because you demanded proof, but because you persisted until proof had no other choice but to arrive. In the end, the power to completely transform your life lies not in reacting to what you see, but in mastering what you assume. Your reality, as it stands before you today, is nothing more than the echo of your past beliefs. It is a delayed reflection of states of being that you no longer need to accept as your truth. Remember this always: the invisible comes first. Every single change, big or small, begins in the unseen realm of your thoughts and feelings. By assuming as if your desire is already a done deal, by silencing the outer voices of doubt, by living daily in the end state, and by persisting without the need for constant proof, you position yourself as the true, conscious creator of your experience. The world may seem to resist at first. The illusion of the old reality may appear stubborn and unyielding. But if you hold your assumption with gentle faith and loving persistence, reality must and will bend. It always does. This is a fundamental law of consciousness. Your role is not to chase, to beg, or to plead with the universe. Your role is to choose, to believe, and to remain in your chosen state. The inner world of your imagination must be honored before the outer world of form can reflect it. And the very moment you learn to live from your chosen state of being, the rest becomes absolutely inevitable. Stay loyal to your vision. Lovingly ignore everything that contradicts it. And trust with your entire being that what you have claimed as true within your heart is already yours in the quantum field. The world will catch up. It has no other choice. Thank you for listening. Your journey of conscious creation has been powerfully activated. To seal this new energetic blueprint, press the like button one last time as a final declaration of your coherence with this truth. And finally, share this transmission with anyone you feel is ready to hear it. Every share expands this field of light, creating ripples of coherence across the planet. You are not just sharing a video, you are contributing to a global shift in consciousness, helping to build the new reality we are all choosing together. Remember who you are. The power has always been within you,